Hello. I don't sound very enthusiastic when I start my live streams. I should fix that. Oh, hi! This is what people tend to do, and then they get lots of views. It's funny, oh yeah, I should check the sound. Okay. Yep, sound is good. Alright, so I have not been on here in a while. And I just wanted to come on to, first off, wanted to check on everyone, all, 22 of you who watch my lives. I'm kidding. It's not 22. Actually, a lot more people watch my live streams than the people who are subscribed, which is quite impressive, if I do say so myself. I'm not anticipating anyone to show up, but I did want the camera is still. Should I go here? Here? Here. I'm not anticipating anybody to show up, but I did want to come on here to first off touch base with you and check and see how you're feeling. The energies, I know you guys are sick of hearing about the energies and all that. I know I am. There's a lady that I follow. I have a lot of respect to this lady, and I think I'm going to unsubscribe. Actually, I have. I unsubscribed from her channel, but she continues to pop up because of the algorithm. And I don't know. I have not gonna shit on anyone, but I feel like she's gone somewhere, and I'm not very interested in following where she's going. But she's a spiritual lady, a big following, and she always comes on. Hello to the three people that are here. Say hello. How are you? How are you feeling specifically in the past 48 hours? But every time she comes on, she does a lot of shorts and she gets thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views. And it's constant, I don't want to say fear mongering, but it's constant. Oh, the energies are crazy. Oh, the energies, I've never felt anything like them. Oh, anyway, I don't want to be like that. I just don't. The energies that we're passing through are hectic. They've been hectic. It's been up and down. It's been literally a shit show for me. I'm about like today I wanted to come on here and delete this channel and delete my other YouTube channel and delete all my platforms, everything. That's how I've been feeling. But I know enough not to react and not to engage. I realize it's heavy right now. And when things are heavy, I tend to lay low. But at the same time, I want you to see that part of my authenticity is that you get to see me when I'm not at my best. So let's get to this topic, the topic of this live stream. Now that I've checked in, if you have anything you want to say, please feel free to leave it in the chat if you're here live, or if you're watching this on replay, leave it in the comments. I wanted to talk about the image that you see, the thumbnail. And the thumbnail that I used is actually the same image that I have used in my latest Substack post that I wrote. And I've sort of promised everyone, and I promised myself, that I was going to stay away from politics. And for the most part, I want to say I've been doing a good job. But something came through, and it came through sort of 2 nights in a row for me. And it was based on things that I see, because I still have a political leaning. Like, I shouldn't say a leaning. I have a political understanding that a lot of people don't. They just don't. I understand geopolitics in my part of the world. And geopolitics from my part of the world have arrived in the West. And along with the geopolitics that have arrived into the West, has arrived the propaganda that a lot of Westerners, Western people, God love you, You know, you've never been exposed to, you don't know what it is, you don't know what it feels like, you don't know what it sounds like. And a lot of you, without being demeaning, without being insulting, without making any claims. I'm just saying what I'm observing, including your politicians, your political figures, you know, your higher ups. They believe the propaganda that they're seeing, and it's very clear that it's propaganda. It's sometimes I wonder, and I'm like, do they really not think that this is propaganda? Do they not know this is propaganda, or are they part of this? You know, your politicians that are tweeting and spreading the propaganda on behalf of the terrorists from my part of the world. It really makes me, like, I do a double take sometimes. Anyhow, I digress. So, part of the sort of Islamist propaganda that's been happening across every Western nation, no Western nation has been immune to this, except the ones that have been able to preserve their culture, the Eastern, like, you know, the Eastern European countries, and even then, they're being, like, heckled. Anyhow, there's a lot of prayer. The Muslims, they gather in public spaces and they pray. And when they pray, it's happened a lot here in Canada, continues to happen. Mainstream news, your political figures, people, everyone references the event that is taking place as a prayer. Oh, look, they were protesting, and then this is the prayer that happened, you know, in New York City, in Times Square, they were praying. And it bothers me, and I'm trying not to let it bother me, because I am someone who grew up under this ideology, and I'm really trying not to generalize, and I'm trying not to use specific words, because I would like this video to remain on this platform, and I would like for some people to watch it. And I realize it will trigger a lot of, you know, I don't know, who knows, controversy, reporting, I don't know. But I grew up under this ideology, and this ideology is a very authoritarian political ideology that has masqueraded itself throughout history for the past, I don't know, 1400 plus years as religion, as a religion. And a lot of people still think of it as a religion. And once again, I would like to state that I grew up under this ideology. I'm not here repeating, you know, hearsay or something I read on the news or something I saw on the news. You're talking to someone who lived under Wahhabi, Salafi aspect of that religion, combined with teachings of the Muslim Brotherhood. I also am half Egyptian, and I witnessed, you know, Egypt get destroyed when the Muslim Brotherhood went into power. Now, having said all that, when I was growing up under this ideology, with its authoritarianism, with its hatred for women, with its love of control, with its love of silencing opposing voices, one of the things is I was shown how to pray. You had to pray in public because you had to convince people that you were a good, you know, subject. And this was the only way to pray, and it never sat well with me from, I think I was 9, 10. And in the school that I went to, because I went to a madrasa, you had to, it was obligatory. Like, there was specific times of the day where the bell would ring, and we would all the girls would, you know, gather in this one spot. We would put our white hijabs on, and we would have to pray together in mass. Same pattern, same behavior. And it was very disturbing for me. And I remember, like, just acting. I was like, okay, I'm pretending that I'm repeating the words, but it was just emptiness inside of me. I was devoid. Like, I didn't feel any connection whatsoever. And I used to wonder, like, is anyone next to me feeling this, or is it just me? And I lived my entire life like this, you know, until the point where I was kidnapped and I was thrown in jail. And the same thing, you know, they would open the doors, and you would have to, all the females would have to gather in this one area in the jail, and we would have to pretend like we were praying like sardines I remember, like, we were like sardines. It was hard to even bend down. And I would cry hysterically during the performance. And then they were very impressed with me because they thought I was very devout. But in fact, I was crying because I hated what I was doing. I hated what I was being forced to do. So all of these events that are now taking place in Western countries, including the country that I live in, which is Canada, and now to see, your mainstream people, your politicians, oh, look at the display, look at their praying, how beautiful, how peaceful. And I am someone who stopped praying as soon as I left. And then I woke up spiritually, as you all know, during COVID. And since then, I've encountered my own higher self, source energy, whatever it is you want to call it, God. And I've established a very nice relationship with my higher guidance. And I pray and I meditate and I am studying Sufi spirituality and I am studying Buddhism and I'm studying Hinduism and I've read Sanskrit and I've read Western spirituality and I follow Eckhart Tolle and I've read his books and I've listened to Neville Goddard and I've read his books. So I've been really expanding my knowledge when it comes to spirituality because I've always had a spiritual leaning. But because I was forced and I grew up under this authoritarian ideology, which masquerades itself as religion, and people think that it is a religion when in fact it is not. I shied away from prayer. I didn't want to say that I pray. Anytime I said I was praying, people would laugh at me because you have a nice, lovely group of communists here in the West who hate religion and who hate spiritual people, and they mock and they laugh because that's all they do. That's all commies do. They laugh and mock. So, I pray. And from my studies, I've come to learn and understand that what I am encountering is in fact the true essence of spiritual connection with something that is higher, greater than us, than you, than me. Something that is wiser, something that is intelligent. Perhaps it is the intelligence behind everything and everyone. So I've come to understand, especially because my leanings are towards Sufi spirituality, that what I'm feeling is authentic. I'm not imagining it. And I've come to understand that because the Sufis always describe themselves as lovers of God, that is how I feel about my higher self whenever I encounter it, during meditation, during prayer. It doesn't matter. So, wow, that's a very long, confusing intro into the topic. What you're seeing in that picture and what you're seeing on display in front of you and what your news and media and social media and your political figures are calling prayer is in fact not. And I had to write about it, but I wanted to explain in a live stream why I had to write about it and the angle that I'm approaching when I wrote about it. Come back to this live stream. I would have pinned the Substack article or the download or the message that I got in the description as well as in the comment section. You can feel free to read it. The angle that I want to hit this from is spiritual, not political. I realize that the entry rant into this live stream is a bit of a mix of political spirituality, ranting, maybe a little bit of me. But I really wanted to talk about this not from a religious point of view, because in my opinion, religions are man-made. I wanted to discuss this phenomena that is being highlighted. It is everywhere in the West right now. I wanted to discuss it and shine a light on it from a spiritual perspective, from the perspective of someone who prays, from the perspective of someone who encounters the divine, the higher intelligence every time I pray. That is not prayer. And when you read the article that I wrote, I go into detail on why this is not prayer. This is collective ego that has fused itself with belief, or what they think they believe. The belief here is political, because, like I said, this specific ideology is a political one, and it masquerades as a religion. And I'm not vilifying anyone who is in any way, shape, or form involved in these protests, these performance, where usually there is flags of specific so-called countries. Okay, whatever. Specific political flags are attached. They're wearing political symbols of very, very hostile entities, entities that have harmed people in my part of the world. When these people engage in prayer, they believe, it is my honest opinion, that they believe that they are doing good, that they believe in what they are doing. But I can guarantee you that they are not encountering anything, that they are not making any kind of divine connection, that this is not a form of, meditative effort for world peace. You can tell that this is a performance. This is a collective theater, perhaps. They're dressed in their specific things, the symbols that represent whoever it is that they politically stand with. There's usually flags. There's usually a lot of posturing. A lot of posturing. And as someone who prays, I can tell you that if you put me in that environment, I wouldn't be able to pray, is number one. It would be too much. Number two, I wouldn't be able to establish any kind of connection with my higher guidance, because it's so public, and there's a need to be seen by these performance, these acts, this theater. It's more of a look at us, rather than, oh, we're trying to connect with our higher guidance. When I connect with my higher guidance, and from the readings, the textbooks that I've read, be it Sanskrit, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sufism, it doesn't matter. They all describe the same thing. When you connect with your higher guidance, there's an element of, what's the word I'm looking for? There's an element of reverence. Khushu'. Khushu'. In Arabic, it's called khushu'. And when you encounter this reverence, your ego dissolves. It requires your ego you can't have an ego and be in reverence of your higher guidance. These performances, this theater that you're seeing politically, it's a political theater disguised as religion. It's all egoic. It's collective ego banding together and putting on a display. There's no reverence there. There's an act, they perform the sujood and the ruku', but there's no reverence. You can almost feel it, You can almost feel it. Perhaps, who knows, maybe, one person in 100 actually is able to encounter reverence. Good for them. Happy for them. Once again, I really want to reiterate that I'm not trying to vilify the people who engage in these protests, because I think they're being lied to for the most part. I think their ego has taken over, hijacked them. Because, like I said, this is nothing but a performance. It's an egoic performance. This is for the cameras, It's not for any kind of true divine connection or guidance that anyone is trying to establish. And I would like to exclude gathering together in an actual holy place. So, or what is perceived as a holy place, and I really don't want to get into it. Because when you go to Mecca, when you go to Medina, when you go to, the sacred land in Israel, mostly people, are not carrying flags of foreign countries and behaving in this specific manner. It's not choreographed. People gather together, oh, I came here, that person came here, this other person came here. We just all happen to be here together. Whereas these events are staged. There's planning that goes behind them. So I would like to exclude, this does not involve the people who go to places of worship to actually, with the intention of worship. You don't go to Times Square in New York to worship. It's not a worship place. Not sure what's there unless there's some sort of sacred. I don't know. Anyhow, I digress. So, back to the core essence of why I wrote what I wrote and why I'm doing this live stream. I don't want to say that I'm offended. I'm offended. This is not spirituality. They don't pray like me, so they're wrong. That's not actually what I'm saying, although people might interpret it that way. I'm just saying that that is a facade. And a lot of people are being fooled into believing that that is prayer. And a lot of people are calling it prayer. Prayer is sacred. Prayer is intimate. I'll give you an example of prayer. When you're with someone you love, romantically, a lover, and you want to connect with that person, you want to spend some time in intimate connection with that person, your partner, your lover, your significant other, do you go out in Times Square in New York or in a public space in Canada or wherever, I don't know, France? You go out in public and you start getting down and dirty and spending time together in public in front of everyone? Let's say you do, okay? Let's say you do. Are you comfortable? Can you sort of do everything that you want to do with that person? Can you go down on them and they go down on you in public? Without worrying, at the very least, without raising eyebrows, oh my God, it's going to become a spectacle. And chances are, if you're seeking actual intimacy with your partner, you're going to be behind closed doors. You're not going to be in Times Square getting busy. Unless you want some cameras and people to take pictures of you and you want to be headline news. If you want to do that, if you want to become headline news, you will do that. You will go get naked with your significant other and start, getting busy in Times Square in New York. And you will be headline news. That is the best explanation that I can give you to why this is not prayer. Not because they don't look like me, not because they don't pray like I do, not because I want to shit on this ideology which I escaped only for it to follow me to Canada and the West. I just want to approach it from a spiritual perspective and shine a light on the fact that a lot of people are being fooled into thinking that this is prayer. And I wonder how you pray. How do you pray if you pray? If you don't pray, how do you sort of, when you're having a shit day like I've been having for the past 48 hours, do you go out in public and you cry and scream and drama in front of everyone? Or do you go close your door and cry? You cry and you hug yourself and you just try to soothe yourself. Which do you do? Which do you do? I don't know. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm not here to increase the division that is already in this world. I can guarantee you I am sick and tired of the hate that is in this world. I am a person who is an extremely sensitive human being who grew up with two crazy people that were my parents who decided to get married and have me and my sister, my siblings. And I did not spend a day of peace in my youth in that house with them because they hated each other and it was constant fighting. And there reached a point where the abuse became beyond verbal, it turned into physical. And I lived in fear. I lived in horror. I actually call that aspect of my life, it was like a horror movie. And the house that I grew up in, it was the house of horrors. And for me to keep witnessing humans, this cycle that we're in right now, where we hate each other, the right hates the left wants to do this to the right, let's mock the left, let's shit on the right, let's vilify the right, let's laugh at the left. I am so sick and tired of this abuse. It is complete and utter rubbish, garbage energy that is no use to anyone. I am so over it and so done with it all. So I am not here to add to the division and to the hatred that is already ongoing in this world, and that I am so above, and that I am so over. I am so over the energy of hate and the energy of mockery. I'm over it. So over it. I'm not here to add to it. I'm here to express concern about what I am witnessing and how it is being interpreted. We have lost our way when it comes to any kind of spiritual connection. We have lost our way. We have reached a point right now in the world where if you are open with your spirituality or your connection with anything that is not tangible, anything that you can't prove to people, you will be laughed at, you will be abused, you will be subjected to the energy of mockery, abuse, hatred. Oh, you're crazy, oh, you're stupid, oh, this, oh, that. It is because we have lost that element. It is because we have fallen, fallen from grace. We have fallen so far and disconnected ourselves so much from our own selves. Your higher guidance is your own self, by the way. It's just a bigger aspect of you that you need to connect with, but it's you. It's you. And the majority of humans have disconnected themselves from that element, from that aspect. Because, I don't know, because that's where we were heading from a very long time ago. And mainstream religion has only added insult to injury when it comes to that disconnect. Because mainstream religion, and I don't care which religion you follow, the main three Abrahamic religions. Let's not get into spirituality. Have been, for the most part, shoved down humanity's throats. I don't think this can be argued. You can either be a follower, a subject of these religions because they were shoved down your throat and you subjugated yourself completely and you shut down your thinking faculties, or you could be someone who's on the opposite end. Because the religion has been shoved down your throat, because you saw the hypocrisy of the people who speak in the name of it, you have completely washed your hand of it and you've abandoned it and you see it as something garbage. And people who speak of the divine and people who speak of the soul and people who have that tone, that spiritual tone to them, remind you, and I'm not saying I'm not shitting on you, remind them of religion. And so we get lumped in with mainstream religion. And I am here with my little humble channel to change that. I am no religious authority. I am no spiritual authority. Don't think I ever will be. Not the way I'm heading with my channels anyway, and my platforms in general. But for what it's worth, I felt the need to clarify. The sword of clarity needs to appear at some point and separate the illusion, what people think and have thought for a long time is religion, from actual true religion, true spirituality, true connection, which does not look like this. True spirituality is not a bunch of egos gathering together doing a performance. That's it. That's it. I wasn't offended. Oh, the other reason I guess I wrote that article is after seeing that, now I'm seeing people from a Christian background doing the same thing. They're going out in public spaces and praying the same way that these people are praying. I'm like, so if you shit on them for doing that, why are you doing it? How's this countering it in any shape or form? So now we have a collective ego from the East doing a performance, and to combat it, you have a collective ego from the West doing the same performance. There you go. You've got lots of performances happening in front of you. Meanwhile, true spirituality, nowhere to be found in mainstream. So yeah, that's what I wanted to come on here and talk about. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to my wallowing in misery. Let me know. Actually, maybe let me pin it now, because there's a good chance I might forget. Oh my god, my hair. Let me know what you guys are thinking, and if you have any comments, let me grab the link. Where am I? Where's YouTube? Here's YouTube. Oh wow, everyone's been talking. How did I miss everything? Wow. What was I was maybe just busy talking? Sorry guys. The Emperor of the Universe. I'm going to pin my article for you. I missed all the chat. Why did I miss all the chat? Okay, let's see. Salam alaikum, the Emperor from Cairo. Salam, Habibi, how are you? You're in Cairo. Yes. How is Cairo? I miss Egypt. I miss Egypt so much. So much. Now, mind you, when I was there last time, it was around the era of the Muslim Brotherhood. So I'm hoping things have improved. Hopefully things are a little bit better. Oh dang, don't do that. Yes, these are a bit overwhelming. I think staying connected to something that you like. I started to do watercolors again and have not done this since my childhood. Wow. Oh, Kaylee Maria. I've been feeling very dark recently, which is unusual for me. I've been experiencing night terrors, like some sort of dark spiritual energy is around me. I'm not reacting to this dark energy. I feel you, because I've hit rock bottom. Kaylee, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And I'm sorry I didn't see the chat. I was so engrossed in my live stream. Yeah, the energies are weird. Like I said, I don't want to be like that spiritual lady who just comes on here and keeps telling everyone that the energies are intense. Oh my God. I don't want to do that. But the energies are too much. They're a bit too much right now. Like, I need to just step away from everything. If I could step away from life altogether and like retire for a little bit and come back, I would. But anyway, yeah, I feel you, Kaylee. Sending lots of love. I love the beautiful hand jewelry. Timu. This is for my ASMR. You know, every time I do an ASMR video, one video does well and the other one does complete shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I was so disappointed. I was so excited to do the one with the lanterns. I went to the dollar store and I had $45 where I haven't had money in a while. And I went and I got all the lanterns and I was so excited to do my video. And it fucking bombed. Sorry. I think that is the Emperor of the Universe. I think that is the same for everywhere. The origins of the US ideology comes from extreme religious radicalization. If you read Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God by Jonathan Edwards, well, there you go. That's my next read, I guess. I need to finish reading my spiritual texts first, The Emperor of the Universe. But thank you for that suggestion. I'm actually going to write that down. Uh, yeah. Hide user from this channel. Okay. What else? I do it the traditional way. I have to open up my heart, and my intentions are not self-serving, but it is for the world. It has to come from the heart. Like, even after experiencing World War II, people were right back at it again with fighting, including, yeah. Have to get rid of separating ourselves from that kind of behavior. It is good here in Tagamona. Tagamona? I live in New Cairo, Masr Gdida. Oh, there is an energy crisis here in Cairo because of the water. Restaurants close at 9 p.m. This is always, listen, there's always some crisis going on in Cairo, in Egypt. Cairo itself is a crisis. My gosh, like, you have to be somewhat detached when you live in the city. Or when you live anywhere now, you have to be detached. But yeah, sorry, oh, what else? I had to hide some troll who came in here to spread propaganda. Can you imagine? I can't even do a spiritual live stream without the goddamn propaganda. I see how much effort you put into your ASMR, and I appreciate it so much. I will be here hyping your content every time. Well, thank you. Thank you guys. You guys are lovely. Yeah, see, you make it worth it. My last ASMR video, which bombed with the lanterns, one of the first comments I got was somebody said that they're happy that I do videos, and then they followed it by saying it's unfortunate you don't have more views. And I was just on Instagram, and there was a lady twerking. That's what she was doing. She was twerking. She was twerking wonderfully, though. I have to say this. It's probably the best work, me personally, that I've ever seen. 20 million views. 20 million views. Maybe I should twerk. I'll do an ASMR twerk, but then I'd get banned on YouTube. Anyway, I don't know. This is where I'm at, you know? And I try not to let it get to me either. Like, I see people who we're all on our own journey. And I realized that I messed up my YouTube channel when I started doing promos. I realized this. I didn't know it at the time. I actually trusted YouTube. But everyone who's done a promo like I did, their YouTube channel has suffered for years. So I guess that's the price I pay. You know what I mean? Put it on Patreon. Well, listen, if it'll get me subscribers, why not? 20 million views for a woman twerking. Okay, so my next, I'm in the dumpster, so I'm taking a little break from doing YouTube videos. I don't know, I say that, but then, the next day I wake up and I'm good. But my next video, since you guys are here, my next ASMR video, I was thinking of doing, the prayer beads? Prayer beads? I was thinking of doing a prayer bead shop where I give you a display of prayer beads and do some prayers or affirmations with you as I show you. And there's the sound of the beads and, of course, the whispering. And there's going to be like a lot of ASMR in it, but it's a spiritual ASMR. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Outside of that, I could do another meditation, or I want to stick to spiritual type ASMR. What was another one? Another one was incense, the incense shop ASMR. I have so much incense here, and I can just go through a variety of incense, with matches, light them, do the incense, the smoke, do some Reiki. How do you guys feel about that? Would you rather the prayer beads, the incense, or something else? Any input since you guys are here? Let me know. I'm so happy you guys are here. It's so nice to speak to you and talk to you and chit chat with you. All right. Everyone's quiet. Maybe none of those ideas are good. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your support. Emperor of the Universe, I know you're in my Patreon, unless you unsubscribed. I don't know. People unsubscribe and then come back, and then unsubscribe and then come back. But I'm always grateful, even for your interactions with me here on YouTube. It doesn't have to be through money. I have Muslim prayer beads from the tomb of the Prophet. It was gifted to me by my Arabic teacher. She's very nice. I can try calligraphy, but I don't have the funds to do I did think about calligraphy ASMR. I just don't have the funds. It requires a lot of, there's also a coffee shop, Arabic coffee, Arabic tea. I just don't have the money right now to get the props for it all. That ASMR sounds lovely. I like the shop role plays. So glad I got to speak to you. Your energy is uplifting. So are you, Kaylee Maria. So are you. So are you. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for interacting with me. Oh, really? Just pen and paper? Okay. Maybe I'll dumb it down. See, I like to go the whole sort of like with the lanterns. Those lanterns, I have no use for them. I bought them all. I bought 6, and I think I only used 4 of them just for that video. Man, I wish I had like a ton of money. Anyway. All right. Love you, love you. Thank you so much for being here with me, including the propagandist who came in here and typed the rubbish that I had to hide from the channel. Thank you for coming on here, because your interaction helps my channel grow.